PDO threads in the tear troughs to help with laxity, with volume loss, with texture irregularities that happen with age once underneath the tear troughs here. So what I've just done is I've numbed her a little bit so that I can create my entry point, and I'm going to be placing some PDO threads just under the skin into those tear troughs, help with texture, wrinkles, laxity, and just textural irregularities. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to make my entry point. She has a little bit of blanching from the Lida with Epi. That just helps with vasoconstriction. Right? And I just go right underneath the skin so that I can create an entry point for myself. Okay, this is my PDO thread. It's just a little hair-like suture. And what this does is creates biostimulation underneath the skin so that she will have some more improvement on that texture. And I'm just placing it right underneath the skin. There we go. And just right up into those tear troughs. And I'm going to protect the eye with my smart hand. Okay, I'm going to press and release. And it's just like that. Now it's one thread. So we're going to probably put about 5 to 10 threads on each side. We're also going to put some threads into her glabella lines as well to help with soften some of those wrinkles. Okay, how'd that feel?
Great, didn't feel a thing.
You're doing great. Just underneath the skin here. Now I don't force anything, I let it find its way. Alright, now I'm just going to go to the other side. Alright. Do you feel this right here? Sharp or dull? Okay. Just creating our little entry point. That's our entry so that we can slide these blunt tip threads into her tear trough. So the great thing about these are, because they're on a blunt tip, we can minimize injury and just have one entry point. Nice. How's that feel?
I don't feel a thing.
She's not feeling a thing. Okay. Perfect. And she'll start to see collagen production. Peak collagen production usually takes about 3 months, but you'll start to see collagen production before that. This is something that you probably need to do multiple times to get the desired outcome. But it's a very natural approach. It's virtually risk-free. You don't get the swelling that you do with maybe some fillers and that tindling effect. So this is a natural way to rejuvenate that tear trough tissue. Okay, that's the under eyes.
Yeah.
Let's try the glabella now. Go ahead and frown for me again. Okay, so just look up this area right here. Just making my entry point for the thread.
Keep from.
Nope, you're good. And I'm just going to measure. Make sure that I have my entry points in the right place. Go ahead and frown. So these are the lines right here that are bothering her. So if I put a thread in through there, it's going to help pop that up and stimulate her own collagen and hopefully fill that in after multiple treatments. It's a safer alternative than doing filler. We really don't want to do filler in this area because that would be a very high risk area for having a blindness.
I'll do the end result.
Okay. Go ahead and frown for me and relax. Okay, I'm just going to slide this underneath the skin here. We're going to go all the way down to where that line bothers her. There it is, right there. Okay, and there we go. Now go to the other side. Okay, here's our entry point. Okay, go ahead and frown for me. Right there. And here we go. Perfect. Okay, we're going to put a few more of these in, and then we will see her again in a couple months and see how she did. Of course, and that's why we don't put filler in this area. It's very, very vascular, and all these go right back to the eye. Okay. And that's it. So what we just did is we just placed PDO threads in her tear troughs and her glabella lines. And what I did is I made some entry points. I numbed those entry points with lidocaine and 2% epi, allowed it to blanch so I can create some vasoconstriction. And I measured where I was going to be placing my threads in the tear trough. It's a blunt tip cannula that we used, so I could put multiple threads through one entry point. So we did 5 to 10 threads in this tear trough area to soften the fine lines, helped with the texture, and to help with some of that volume loss that's creating shadowing. So she'll do multiple sessions over the course of this next year, usually about 3 months apart. We'll do another session. We also filled in her glabella lines, so we made entry points up in her forehead and filled in her glabella lines with those frown lines with the PDO threads. Again, only using minimal entry points, so I could put multiple threads through that entry point. And this will just stimulate collagen over time. It's a much safer alternative than filler. Definitely don't want to be messing around with filler up in this forehead area because it is very high risk for having vascular occlusions and causing blindness. And then in the tear trough area, some people just don't want fillers, and that's fine. Sometimes fillers can be overdone and look very puffy or get a tindling effect. So this is a great way to fill in those fine lines, wrinkles, get some textural improvements, and improve some of that volume and some of the shadows that you see with getting that hollowness in the tear troughs. And this is virtually painless. She didn't flinch at all. Did you like it?
It's great.
Yeah, the worst part was you had to talk to me. Anyway, so this is a very minimally invasive procedure, very safe. Your body's going to absorb these sutures over time. Just breaks down into a simple sugar, and it's something that can be repeated as often as she likes to get maximum outcomes. Okay, that's it. PDO threads, tear troughs.